Hey, what's up, family? This mental stimulant, and I'm coming through. Um, I've been in meditation a lot this morning. Um, I've been kind of busy, so my schedule has been off slightly, and the ancestors just kept telling me, "You gotta meditate, you gotta meditate, you gotta meditate." So I was like, "All right." So as you can see, I posted a whole lot of shorts. Well, not a whole lot, but different messages I was getting in meditation. And something also was just brought to my attention recently about some information that the ancestors feel that it's necessary for me to share about past experiences when the people are around you are in cahoots. Now, see, a lot of these things we notice, but we brush off. You know how you tell yourself a lot of time, nah, I'm tripping. Nah, I'm tripping. Nah, I'm tripping. A lot of times our intuition, our higher self, and the ancestors be telling us things subtly. Not to incite fear in you, but to get your attention. And most times we overlook it. Like I said before, most people believe that their first mind is just a thing, when that's actually your higher self or even ancestors, angels, spirit guides, etc., sending you messages. That's why when a lot of things happen, people always say I should have went with my first mind. A lot of times your first mind is the correct mind, but most times we overlook it. Now, I was in a situation, probably currently still am, let me not say was in a situation, with someone I've known since childhood. Matter of fact, everyone involved I've known since childhood, some even involving family. But I'm going to tell you the key points that was pointed out to me, because someone could be having something done similar to them right now. There's a reason why the ancestors are pointing out certain things, because there's little subtle things that we don't pay no attention to that seems normal. But those normal things that are hidden in plain sight, you know, could very well be something that we need to pay more attention to. I was in a relationship where it was a constant back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, break up, make up, break up, make up, break up, make up, you know. And I lost my mom in 2017 due to witchcraft being done. Now, from that moment forward, looking back now, I noticed that there's different things that was taking place in that time that I noticed, but I never really paid attention to, you know. And before I get into that, let me say this. When the scripture says we wrestle not with flesh and blood, we wrestle with spirit. You have to understand, because we see it so much in the media. Mama sleeping with daughter's baby daddy and in secret competition with her child, or vice versa, daughter sleeping with stepdad, and it becomes a competition thing. Sisters doing it, sisters, brothers doing it, the brothers. It's very common because the people that are closest to you have access to you. You understand? Most strangers is not going to be able to have access to you to screw you over the way that your family typically does. But you have to understand that's not your family anymore. Once they cross the line and do something really despicable, that person is demonically interrupted. The person that you once knew does not reside there. And it could have happened through multiple sexual partners, because when you take on sexual partners, you take on the energy, the entities rather, that those people carry. And having multiple frivolous sex partners just is catastrophic to your spirit. A lot of people, especially those in poverty-stricken areas, they become victims to witches, warlocks, people that deal with the negative side of occult knowledge. You know, we hear all the time, it's very prevalent now that there's secret societies, covenants, etc. You know, it's becoming widespread now because God has removed the veil. But these are things that have always been going on since the beginning of time. Something my mom used to say, the characters, the faces change, but the situations don't. History repeating itself over and over and over and over and over again. For various reasons. Generational curses, pacts made with the devil by someone in the family. I spoke about this before, you know, because when people grow up with nothing, you know, and they appear to be a suffering, so to speak, when you don't know where your next meal going to come from, where you going to sleep, you know, it brings out the absolute worst. And please pardon my French, the weaker minded people. Because people that are good natured and have strong minds, they can't be manipulated to do some of these despicable, diabolical things. Their mind is too strong and their heart wouldn't let them. This is how you separate the real from the fake. The fake is easily manipulated by demonic entities and energy, especially when they're overly sexual, multiple sexual partners. Alcohol is involved because alcohol is called spirits for a reason. When you drinking and you drink alcohol, it opens you up spiritually. This is like an invitation for demonic entities to come into your spirit, your physical being. And this is why most times people say a drunk never tell no lies. That's because those secrets of that person doesn't matter to that entity. That entity wants to humiliate them and make a fool of them and have them doing all types of stuff that by morning they won't be able to hold their head up about. You understand? Dark entities and forces are out to destroy God's creation. When it said in the Bible that the angels, the fallen angels, were jealous of humans, that has never changed. This is one reason why I don't understand why people go into covenants and such with dark entities. They do not like you. What they want to do, you thinking you getting this money, this notoriety, and all of these things, being tricked into doing all these diabolical things, burning bridges with people that really love you, just digging yourself into a hole that at the end of the day you won't get out. Most go crazy once those entities feel like they have no use for you and they have accomplished ruining your life and having the creator turn away from you. Most people go mad after that. Most people go mad. Most people commit suicide. All types of diabolical things. Now, you must know what you're looking at. Because a person is wandering the street and talking to themselves, they might not be crazy. So you have to know what you're dealing with. A lot of people go through spiritual warfare where they're being attacked spiritually. by people doing witchcraft, voodoo, etc. You know what I'm saying? And it all boils down to greed, jealousy, and envy. Because think about it. You break up with an obsessive lover that cannot let you go. People go to all types of lengths in an attempt to force you to be with them and stay with them. It could be because of money. It could be because these people can't stand on their own. It could be because of so many things. But, women do it. Men do it. Where they trap these people. Most times by witchcraft, putting shit in their food. All types of things that we think the average person think is not going on, doesn't exist. Your baby mama that you got 3-4 kids with, that she get on your nerves, she toxic as fuck. You can't get this bitch away from you. You don't know why you keep waking up on the weekends over this whole house, and you just can't leave. It seems like every time you make an attempt to take a run for it, your ass end up right back there. And you can't make logical sense out of it because just the day before you was adamant. I ain't fucking with this hoe no more. These people will go as far as fucking your friends, stealing from you, doing all this stuff, and still try to force you to stay because they need you. These are bums. These are weak individuals that don't know God. And, most people, some, it's familial that they've been taught these things, this voodoo, this witchcraft, very young. Very young. Because voodoo witchcraft didn't just start this day and age. It's been going on for generations and generations and generations. Some of us just have been so naive and didn't know nothing about none of these things because we weren't taught these things. And most times it's for a reason. It's most times because you stand out automatically from birth. The devils around you already then singled you out and realized that you're different. They see the light on you way before you even see it. And they become jealous. They get all of this envy. These are people that familial. That's supposed to love you. They plotting on you from day one. And you're the last person to find out about it. Trauma, advantages that you may have been afforded that they feel like they haven't. Body image issues. A lot of people be so insecure about their weight, their shape, their complexion. One boob being bigger than the other. It be such nonsense that people really be insecure about. To where when they look at you, they cannot be happy for you and love you because they don't have that happiness and love for themselves. A lot with the media, we've been forced to believe that the perfect woman, the perfect man looks this way and look this way. So if you don't look like this, you ain't shit. You got women who can be a good time, baby mothers, but never get committed to. After a while, psychologically, that can mess with you. And in a negative way. Some people, it doesn't spark something in you. Like, I got to step my game up. I got to work on myself. I got to be better at and focus on me so I can bring something to the type of person that I want to attract. You are the energy you attract most times. But there can be so many other variables because when witchcraft and voodoo is in play, your life can be affected so much by things your ancestors have done. A lot of times, your family get into covenants and make pacts with demons, and they sell off the whole bloodline to get what they want. This is why most people, to get fame and notoriety and fortune and to become famous, I don't care what nobody say, everybody understands and knows that you have to give someone up that you love. You have to give someone up you love. You have to give their life as a bargaining chip. The only thing that I don't understand about this is, don't you understand that this is a cycle? You got to keep feeding that. We're talking about life here that you cannot give back. Who are you to take someone's life because you want to be rich and glamorous and all of this nonsense? You leading your own people to the slaughter. Everybody is a bargaining chip for you to get what you want. But I'm getting off subject. Let me just point this stuff out because I got things to do. I ain't really got the time, but I'm kind of in trouble right now with the angels and the ancestors because I haven't been meditating and giving the messages like I'm supposed to. So I'm making the time because I don't want that belt to ass action. You hear me? Like I said, I was in a relationship where it was backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. A very domestic, abusive relationship, you know. And honestly, I can be 100% honest. It was the first real relationship that I've ever had. Because when this relationship started, really, I was a child. I had no world experience. I was a sheltered child, you know. And everything that surrounded me, other than my grandma, was toxic. Since day one. Everything and everyone that surrounded me was toxic, karmic. I had no working knowledge of the world. And I think I was sheltered for that reason alone. Because I realized the rearing of my siblings was not the same. But anyway, this is someone a little bit older than me that had lots of world experience, you know, that I would never have thought would have knowledge of witchcraft and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even think that this person would pick up a book and be reading a book to try to figure out how to do voodoo and witchcraft on someone. I would never have thought. In fact, I had no knowledge of it. I didn't even know people in the North did voodoo and witchcraft. I thought that was like a urban legend South thing. You hear me? But that was my naivety. I was meant to be naive. I was groomed and bred to be naive, so the people around me could take advantage. You want your prey asleep and unsuspecting at all times. Okay? So I was put in these positions where I was being abused, both physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally, really from everyone that was parading around to have love for me. I couldn't see it. You gotta keep in mind, I was living my own toxic lifestyle, so I was asleep spiritually. I was drinking alcohol. In fact, I was an alcoholic from very young. Very young. I was sexually active. Not what I would call sexually active. Fooling around is not sexually active to me, but I was sexually active, which is taking on the energy of others, you know? So I was an open doorway when I wasn't meant to be. I was surrounded by karmic energy vampires that basically was sucking me dry. And we're talking spiritually. You have to understand what's going on. You know, I was in a relationship for decades with someone that abused me. And when people that were standing on the outside would ask me, why do you keep going back to them? To give you the honest to God truth, I couldn't tell you why. Because I wanted to leave. You know, I don't know if it was the emotional manipulation. You know what I'm saying? Because I would make many, many attempts. We talking decades. I made many attempts to leave. I was emotionally manipulated. The crying, the showing up at my house in the middle of the night, crying, I need you, I don't have nobody, etc., etc. Yeah, I was being played like a fiddle. Naive, didn't know no better. I thought this is what love looked like. In fact, I didn't have nothing to measure it to. So of course I'm going to be a victim in this sense. You know, that worked. It's ran its course to where I ain't care about that no more. Then it was the physical abuse and the stalking. People around me would tell this person where I am, knowing damn well that I'm not dealing with this person. This person will watch me, follow me, go to my jobs and stalk me. To where I think that sometimes I felt like I ain't had no choice but to deal with him. He wouldn't leave me alone. We talking about several TPO orders, protection orders, even an instance where I was kidnapped. Because people that are demonically interrupted, oh, them demons, they want to inflict fear and pain on you. Remember, dark energies hate humans, especially humans that are chosen by God to be here, to be of service, to do something specific. These are the people that have it the worst. That's every turn they're getting beat down by the world. And they're supposed to be a blessing to the world. There's way more dark entities running rampant through people and shape-shifting. A lot of these energies is present in our 3D life. This world is the devil's world. It's not ours. It's not of God. This is why you can have whores being glorified as the standard of what a woman could be, should be. Why little girls is taught young to be in servitude of a man. It's something different about a chosen woman's womb, her sexual organs. Laying down with a chosen woman, man, can change a man's life. It's meant to, but it's meant to change her counterpart's life. They work in tandem. When they share that energy, it brings about the blessings that was already in their contract for them coming here. Promises of wealth to break poverty, promises of long-lasting relationship. But there's so many things that go before that we most live and die and never understand. There's no one to teach us this stuff. All we've been taught is, oh, you ain't nothing if you don't look like this. You ain't nothing if you don't earn this. You ain't nothing if you don't rub shoulders with these type of people. Nonsense. Because most of those things, I promise you, you don't want to be a part. Because it's not of God. There's no God in it. This is why any celebrity that had any moral, any tact, any spiritual faith, Anyone that began to speak out and try to open the eyes of the people, what happens to them? They disappear. Most times you see these people that resemble them, but you can tell certain things just don't add up. And it's meant to be that way. This is the devil's world. God's people are being ran through the ringer, you hear me? God's people face homelessness. God's people face trauma. All types of things for several different reasons. I'm not going to say it's one reason or the other. A lot of this stuff was already in our life contracts when we came here. If you got poverty on your bloodline, whoring on your bloodline, you are meant to break that and be the exception to teach the generations behind you another way. Chosen people have a purpose to the world. It does not matter what your specific purpose is. All the chosen people are here for a reason. Many have signed up to come back to this world because it was going to be in such chaos at this time. But anyway, the abuse was unreal. Unreal. We talking about being beaten in broad daylight simply because somebody got caught cheating and it wasn't you. Think about that for a moment. How in heaven's name are you being beat on because you caught that person cheating? You are to be in servitude and be quiet. You be seen and not spoken. You do what I tell you to do. I don't care what I do. You sit here until I get finished doing what I'm doing. It's crazy. But this is the mind of these people. They sit around you, claim to love you, and they in competition with you. That homegirl at your job that don't like you, they best friends. Like, how are you loving me, but you friends with my enemies? It does not make sense. In fact, you go out your way to try to making it seem that like this person is better than me and you have a better liking to them anyway. A lot of this stuff be psychological, it be emotional, it be physical. But when you don't have nothing to measure it to, you'll go for all types of nonsense. Nobody is teaching their children. Nobody is teaching their children. How many children is it that don't know how to pray before they go to bed? That don't pray over their food? How many children are there that don't feel like they're part of a family unit? A family unit look like such. You guys sit down as a unit and have dinner and go over things that happen in the day. We talking about a healthy family. You guys pray together. It's not like that no more. Isn't anyone notice? Alright, I'm getting off point. Let me get back because I'm being nudged like you're not saying what we told you to say. But I live with this person off and on. And I'm going to be honest, most time these were my places that I just moved this person in. I can't think of an instance where I was being supported and he was actually helping me pay anything in there, because he wasn't. Everything that I got, that I acquired, it's like he wanted to tear it up. At different periods in our lives, I noticed me trying to make progress and he stuck stagnant. Okay with the partying, the going out, long as he can earn a couple of dollars and go chase some whores or whatever, get high or whatever, that was enough. That was enough. I remember it was the time where I started cryptocurrency. And I needed a good phone to really do trading off of. So I did investing and bought me $1,000 phone. But that's because I figure if I get into this trading good with this cryptocurrency, the phone will pay for itself. This person went out and got the same phone as a flex. Not just thought it was cute. Like, oh, we got his and hers. That's not no flex. Because a man that competes with a woman, something else going on there. All right? I got a government job that allowed me to work from home. And this person had to go to work and work a hard labor job every day. I had no idea that the certain comments that would be made, that this person was actually jealous about me having that job, about the fact that he hated his job and how hard he felt he had to work and felt like I had it too easy. But it was me that stayed up all night taking those college courses. It was me still working a full-time job and taking those college courses, getting very little sleep. It was me that worked for it, though. We talking about the differences of people that do the work and the other people that think that they're just going to ride your coattail. They're not going to do any of the work, but they want to bask in the reward. It does not work like that. And the more and more you strive to do better, trying to be better, them people is trying to keep you exactly where you are. Because most people want to see you doing good, but not better than them. I, unfortunately, didn't have that privilege of them wanting me to do good at all. And I'm not just speaking on my past lover. I'm speaking on everyone that was surrounded by me. They didn't want me to have shit. They didn't want me to be happy. You know, I had women around me that was telling my business. I had women around me that was in competition. One of my old best friends one day, I was going on a date. I was broke up with this ex I'm talking about. Like I said, we was back and forth for decades, but I would date other people in between. And I was going out with this guy, and he came to my people's house, who, quote unquote, I called a friend at that time. Right? Dude come to the door, you know what I'm saying? Come in, speak to everybody, all that, come get me. We bounce. He walk into the car, I'm behind him. I had just closed the door to the house. And I hear her and a bunch of the other people that I thought this was my tribe. She in there, the loudest one. How the fuck she get a nigga like that? This supposed to be your ace. Right? These are conversations that go on behind your back that you're never supposed to know about. And I'm going to keep it a buck. I never said anything. But from that day forward, I really never really trusted her 100% the same. Because I was able to see, oh, you a hater. You mad because you built funny and can't get nobody? Unless you, never mind. That's neither here or there. You know what I'm saying? But I'm making a point about these people that be covert enemies. You be sleeping with them. You be vacationing with them. You know. And these people will off you. Simply because how you make them feel. Simply because you ain't doing nothing but living your life. But these people are so hateful. Bums. that I call them, because you should never allow another person to make you feel less than. So much so that this stuff boils your blood so bad that you just, I want to sleep with her husband. I want to get pregnant by him. I want to steal from her. I want to go get this BBL so I look better than her. It's nonsense, man. I don't respect none of this. And it boils my blood to even hear stuff like this. I can't even look at certain things on social media because it upsets me so bad looking at these grown ass people that are big haters. And they hating on the people they supposed to love. I don't respect that at all. I don't. I can't. Because physically, I can't understand it. But spiritually, I understand it, but it boils my blood. Because we all have been given free will at the start of this to make our own choices. And a lot of these people have lived their life making all the wrong choices. Like you chose to do X, Y, and Z. You chose to mess with that dude knowing he a whore. Now you sitting around with HIV. That shit was all fun and games when y'all was going out every week and throwing in a circle. Everybody fucked up having orgies and shit. But the shit that come behind that, oh, now you upset. What did you think you was going to get? Like we have free will to make these choices and we make the wrong choices. Stand on your shit. A time was had when you was doing it, right? You knew the probability that X, Y, and Z could happen. You did not care. You did not care. My man. These men be having these women's out. This Joan. Tripping. These women allow these men to sleep with their children. Molestation. Just for this dude to pay some bills. Like, where's your morals at, man? These women out here getting pregnant, tricking these dudes getting pregnant. Some of them even go as far as getting pregnant by somebody else, pinning all these babies on people. Giving these children identity complexes because they think this dude, their dad, 18, 21, they find out they don't have no genetic makeup to this man. And then they trying to figure out, well, who am I? Again, these are people that's supposed to love you. You think that mother thought before, I don't want to have my child fucked up, man. No, she worried about her. You're a pawn. She don't give a fuck about you. And most times you can see it in the way that she's raising you. That child support, she spend that shit on her. You get the very, very bare minimums just for her to be able to say that she doing something for you. We got grown adults right now dealing with trauma because they were molested in their home. They were abandoned. They were abused. These children grow up to be weirdos most times. No offense, I'm sorry. But it be the trauma. Nobody take these children to therapy after they get molested. You know, most of them be like, you're lying. Why would a child lie about something? They can't even really form complete thought. The last thing you should be telling that child after you did not protect them is they're a liar. How dare you? I stand by parents that's out here smoking people playing with their children. That's where all compassion would leave me, I swear, on everything I love. If I had a child and my child got touched, by someone around me, we both gotta go. Because I'm not going like that. I promise you. I promise you that will make me lose my sanity. Because as a parent, you're meant to protect. When someone violates you in that way, man, there's only one way. There's only one way to make that shit good, man. Because children are innocent. They are innocent. It is not your right to strip a child of their youth because you're a perv. You got all those demonic, lustful Jezebel entities on you. And you got to understand something about an overly sexual person. Most time there's no boundaries. No boundaries. A motherfucker that's running around with their privates in their hands all the time, looking for the next lick. Dangerous. That is a dangerous person because there is no boundaries. They into same sex, group sex, etc., etc. And they think the norm of the world right now is that's cute. That's being popular. That's in the in crowd. Oh. I've never seen porn being glorified so much. And I grew up in the 90s, born in the 80s. Man, I can tell the shift. You got people doing things just because their partner doing it. Like no one thinks for themselves. You got mates that are putting cameras and shit in their person's houses, all in intimate spaces, to make $1 off of them. You might not even know this motherfucker is computer savvy, and this motherfucker got your house linked up on the dark web, streaming live, watching you when you ain't got your weave on, all types of crazy shit. You're scratching your bum. Hey, this is some diabolical stuff, man. Pay attention to that dude that got all them candles in his house, but he don't never burn no candles for you. And that's a big message, you hear me? Because I always thought, I noticed my dude had candles in his house when I would go spend weekends and shit. And I noticed exactly when they appeared, where the fuck these candles come from? Who getting sexy in here? You know, that's as far as my mind could go at that time. I'm like, oh, you lighting candles for hoes now? You ain't lit that candle for me. Over no dinner, over nothing. But you got used burnt candles, halfway burnt through. And it wasn't until later in my spiritual journey I realized that's his witchcraft candles, bitch. He in here putting the woo-saw on your ass. But like I said, you might think this person don't have book smarts, no computer knowledge. But pay attention. He'll play all types of games in your face like, how do I look this up or this and that? And when you ain't there, that motherfucker got that whole system down pat. To where it got to a point with me that I realized, why is this laptop always open? You know what I'm saying? It's never closed. It's always open, and it's always in the bedroom, right in front of the bed. But the screen is always blank, appearing to be off. But I never thought to check, like to see if it's just in sleep mode or whatever. I ain't think nothing of it. That ain't mine. But I did notice it. Why is this laptop always open? He don't never cut this joint off or something. Not knowing there's a strong possibility that your mate is recording you. And that's just the stuff that you can see, that be in plain view. Or what about that man? You think you got such a good dude. My man be rearranging my house and cleaning up real good. Nah, that dude is getting his devices and resetting them. And to make it look good, he moving stuff around so it looked like he was doing something of use. I wouldn't be surprised if most women in relationships right now got OnlyFans and all this other stuff and on the dark web and don't know. I was. From what I understand, just from spiritual messages, they was making a pretty penny that I ain't get 1 red cent from. Ain't that some shit? Like, goddamn. You know? You can be with people and don't even know who they are. Especially with these Apple products now. People putting Apple tags on each other, following each other. Like, I've never seen this much nonsense in my life. People really feel like they own human beings. You don't own nobody. That motherfucker want to go there, free to go. There's nothing. You cannot twist somebody's arm and be like, oh, you going to stay here and be with me. And it be for some of the most mundane reason. Like, oh, I don't want people to think I can't keep no man. Oh, you don't want people to know that you really cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs? Or you ain't had a job in 6 years and you done popped out all these kids trying to hold on to this dude. Now you like, oh, you can't leave me with all these kids. You think I'm going to go work now and struggle? Oh, nah. They putting stuff in your food. Yeah, you might think, oh, I got me a good one, man. She make my favorite. Probably some type of pasta, some type of spaghetti, all types of stuff. And I had that done to me too. I also remember the exact moment that dude started making spaghetti. I have never seen him make spaghetti until a certain point. That should have been a red flag too, but that motherfucking spaghetti was busting. It must was the witchcraft in that bitch, because this shit was good. But on another note, to be honest, you know what I'm saying? I was under the thumb a long time. And there was so many different tactics being used on me. Everybody around me. We talking about your family, your siblings, your cousins, your aunties. Oh, they all in on it. You'll be surprised how many of the women that fucked on your dude and was pillow talking and laughing about it. Like, this is the mind of demonically interrupted people. This is fun. This is being a part of the in crowd. Yeah, we fucking her over. Like, what? Like, who is the mastermind that thought of this shit? I want to know why. Why? Never mind, because I know. They all share the same type of entity. People that can get in collaboration and cahoots to this nature, man, it's something psychologically wrong. Most of them are being possessed and controlled by something else. They're not even present. Your sweet auntie, your humorous cousin, they not dead no more. At some crossroad in life, they made a deal that they can't come back from. And it could have just been going into that contract, letting that motherfucker hunch on them that had all types of entities and demons attached to them. Pay attention, man. The people that are screwing you over the most is the people right around you. This is why it's so important, man. You got to take a first, second, third, and fourth look. You got to listen more than you speak. I know you in love and all this shit, but ain't no time to put your shield down, man. Even them. You got to watch them, man. Trust no one. And that's a sad thing to say. But if you got anything to lose, you shouldn't be trusting nobody. You got children blowing their parents' brains out. You got children stealing from their parents. You got siblings putting hits on each other just trying to get some insurance money. You got siblings masquerading as their sibling trying to get something that belongs to the other one. Man, this is a wicked world we live in. Didn't I say at the start of this is the devil's world. The only difference now is everything is being unveiled. Ain't nothing covered up and hidden no more. All of that witchcraft that they was doing, keeping all of us in bondage, we had to wake up. It was a time to wake up. And once you awake, you can't go back to sleep. The only thing you can do is keep working on yourself. Keep that favor of God. Stay close to the Creator, man. Because when it's all said and done, and the Creator say, okay, it's enough. Because everything has a time and a place. Everything has a course. If there's a devil, please, guys, there's definitely a God. A Creator. You understand? Once his time has come and he said enough, ooh, man. And I believe it's already started. It's already started. Why do you think the HIV numbers are so high? Why do you think it's so high? All those people in Sodom and Gomorrah, everybody that's worshiping gold and silver, it's always something catastrophic that happened as the absolute resolve to it all. I don't want to be a part of that group. I want to stay over here in my bubble, ducking my stalkers. Because I'm going to keep it 100. I'm being stalked like a mug. But I ain't really sweating that because I got God. There ain't nothing I got to be afraid of. When you stay close to God, you understand that. I've been faced by death so many times. So many times in so many different ways. So much witchcraft was being done on me. I'm actively going through spiritual warfare, you understand? Because I'm not going to lay down. That's out. I don't care how many times I stumble. I don't care how many times I fall. Bitch, I'm getting up. I will not surrender. You hear me? And a lot of the people that's, part of my stalking and all of this, they not going to like this video. But I promise you, I will not surrender. All them death spells, like I said before, you're not going to cause me to commit suicide. I don't even know why y'all still doing that. Because I already told you, the only way you going to get me out of here, you got to come see me. You creeping around, you messing with my car, and all of these things, following me around, and all these juvenile antics. But you never going to be rid of me. You'll go before I go. I guarantee it. But I will not surrender, goddammit. Hey, everybody, do a sweep of your house. Start checking them phones. Look at them apps. Them hidden apps, man, because you might be in a war zone in your own house and not even know it. I'm ringing the alarm, you hear me? But the alarm been ring. I guess some people ain't paying attention. Or they think it's a hoax. But you better wake up. You better wake up. I love you so much, guys. Pray today and have a great day. Peace.